I swear. She was not doing this like 2 minutes ago. Dude! Lay down. You can be in it. Just lay down next to me. It's gonna take forever. Yes, I love you too. Mwah. Mwah. It's only gonna work for 2 seconds. Hi, okay, so I just want to say thank you so much for all the messages that you guys have been sending me. It's really, really nice. I'm so sorry about that. Bella here is being really nosy. I had been holding off on making this video a little bit. I'm sorry. Come on, sit, come on, be a good girl. I've been holding off on making this video for a while, not because I didn't want to or I didn't want to update or I was embarrassed or anything like that. There was a lot of things going on all at the same time that didn't really give me time to do this. I guess you can see by the title, yes, it is true. Was constipated for about 3 to 4 weeks. Constipation, as you guys know, is a very, very common, I guess you could say, side effect. Is a very, very common side effect of recovery when you're coming from an eating disorder such as anorexia or bulimia. Your body is just not really used to digesting foods, and it's not used to, you know, you feeding it, right, and keeping it in there. So yeah, it's gonna happen. The bloating, the abdominal pain, the abdominal distension, all of that are very, very common side effects. We all know from all of the other videos that we have seen. When it becomes a little abnormal, you know. It's hard to say that it's normal because it's not normal, because it is abnormal. I mean, a normal human being is not supposed to really deal with all those things. If you are, what it just says is like, it's normal, it's gonna happen, it'll get better, all of that stuff, right? Because it's common. It's not supposed to, it is bad, but I don't think it's supposed to be as bad. I did the mistake of listening and kind of like taking the advice of all of the other videos out there that just tell you to keep eating and, you know, it'll eventually get better. You know, you just kind of have to push through it because it's not just your physical symptoms, it's also like your ED mind. There was a pair. It's also your ED mindset that's like telling you like it's worse than it is. And so I did that for quite some time. Kept telling myself that it was going to get better and that it was supposed to get better, but it wasn't. At one point I was going to the doctor about 3 times a week. I couldn't take it. It wasn't just the constipation and the abdominal pain and abdominal distension. It was also like a lot of edema and muscle pain. I just didn't know what to do, and I was tired of feeling this way, and I knew I had done this to myself, so I just kind of like, you know, brushed through it. Was following everything that they were telling me, and I was doing everything that they were telling me to do, and nothing was working. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse every single day after every single meal. I called up work. I work in a hospital in the emergency department. I had not been to work for about 3 weeks because of my symptoms were so bad, and I really didn't want anybody to see me that way. I hadn't seen a lot of people at work, although some people did know what I was going through because I had to tell them, right, in order for them to kind of understand me or help me, because I had been to the emergency room before, but I had asked for certain people, you know, to see me, certain doctors and certain nurses that I was more comfortable with. I called up one of my co-workers and I said, you know what, after the last time that you saw me and the last time that you did that CT, it feels worse. Please help me because I can't take it anymore. I'm taking the Miralax, I'm taking the Senna, I'm taking the Colace, I'm taking the IBS medicine for chronic constipation, and nothing is helping me. So please just like at least try to fix me for a little bit. I know this is horrible that I'm asking you to like get this gigantic massive poop baby out of me, but just help me please. So he's like, you know, don't worry, come in, I'm gonna help you, like don't worry about it and we'll keep it private. I was like, okay, fine. I had breakfast and my stomach just got even bigger and I felt even worse. I rushed over to the hospital after breakfast, right after I spoke with him, and of course they did a few x-rays and CTs, you know, just to see that anything, you know, was okay as it could be. And from one week to the next, exactly 1 week to the next, my whole intestine had like, besides swollen up, it had filled up even more. So it was, you could see by the scan and x-ray which she showed me that it was completely filled up to the brink. Like, I couldn't take any more poop in there. Besides, I looked like my stomach was completely full as well. So like, it was full, and I had only had breakfast. You know, they hydrated me. They gave me a whole bunch of fluids, boluses, because, you know, as you know, dehydration can give you constipation. So they gave me a whole bunch of fluids, and they started me on like laxatives. They started with an enema, which did nothing. They gave me max citrate, which did nothing. Gave me a different kind of enema, which did nothing. At this point, I had already had 3 different types of laxatives given to me, and nothing was helping besides of the fluids, right, which should have been working. No, it wasn't. I got admitted to the hospital. Thankfully, after 5 days, I left there without a poop baby. It felt so good, so good. I was a lot more bloated though because of all of the laxatives that they were giving me and all of the fluid. The day that I got there and the day that I left, I was actually a lot heavier. Like, you could see it on my face and my body. I was just like a balloon from all of the fluids, and my stomach was a lot more distended because of how the laxatives affect it. You know how like when you take laxatives, it kind of like swells up your intestines and stuff like that. I looked a lot worse. I looked 100 times worse, but I felt 100 times better. After all that story, I just want to say it's not normal, okay, to feel this way. It's not. If you feel like it's not okay, like it's not going away, it's not getting better, definitely get yourself checked, because gastroparesis and refeeding syndrome are a real actual thing. It's not that common, it isn't, but it's a real actual thing. Like, I would have never thought that it would happen to me, but it did, and I am so grateful that I had the means to, like, you know, go and, you know, have like medical professional like friends as doctors and, you know, nurses, because without that, I think I would have just like kept eating and kept hoping that it was gonna go away. And I know that it wouldn't have, because my GI doctor was like, you know, I'm so happy that you came in, because I'm pretty sure that your bowel would have like ruptured. You would have ended up septic, like, without you knowing. Like, if it would have happened at home, like, the pain wasn't normal and the gas in there wasn't normal. Nothing of it was normal. And I am so happy that I went there, because after that, like, I've been having so many tests done and so many like blood draws and all of that stuff, and it saddens me to say that I was in a lot worse shape than I thought I was. The reason I decided to kind of talk about it today was because during the past 3 weeks after being discharged from the hospital, from being there a week, I had a few tests done, a lot of tests done. One of them was a cardiac test, which I haven't received the results yet, so I'm hopeful about that one. But the more important test that today I get the results for are my GI tests. I had a gastric emptying scan, a small bowel, and a small bowel scan. Basically, it's they kind of give you, with the small bowel scan, it's liquids. You're like fasted for a while, and then they have you drink something, and then they record how long it takes from your mouth to your esophagus to your stomach to your intestine, out your butt. Basically, the gastric emptying scan, same thing. So they fast you for a while, and then with no water as well, so completely dry fast. And then they give you a meal. You know, it's usually eggs, but since I'm vegan, they did it with oatmeal. So they cook you up some oatmeal, and they add a radioactive liquid in there that mix it all up, and then you have about 5 or 10 minutes to eat it. and then as soon as you like are finished with it, they put you into a like a nuclear scan, like kind of like a CT but different. Then you're just in there for a while, and you know, and they time how long it takes for that oatmeal to, you know, pass down there. I am a little bit nervous about it. I know it did take a lot longer than it should have. People empty out for about, I'd say 30 minutes to 40 minutes. It's usually tops. That's usually as long as it takes. Instead of taking 30 to 40 minutes, it actually took about 2 hours. Of course, you know how they don't tell you anything because they're not allowed to like actually, you know, give you a diagnosis. But that did kind of freak me out a little bit. I just want to say that hopefully this helps out anybody else. A lot of people that are going about this on their own, recovery on their own, they kind of just go by like other stories you hear and you listen to on the internet, and you kind of think you're the same, but a lot of times you're not. Like, I can honestly say that my stomach is not the same that a lot of the other people in recovery have, like I watch. That if I would have just like not taken my 2 cents, like that of not, if I would have not listened to my intuition that was telling me that it was not okay, that what I was feeling was not okay, I would not have, I would never have taken the step to like go to my doctor and tell them that it wasn't okay. I wasn't feeling okay, that this wasn't normal. I just want to tell you, like, if you're feeling like it's not okay, that it's not getting better, definitely go and see a doctor. Definitely go and ask for tests, for GI tests, because you never know how your insides are. You can't see them, right? So you don't know if there's something actually wrong in there. I will make a little video, hopefully, what my test showed. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. Hopefully it all turns out well, and even if it doesn't, that's okay. I mean, that's life. Hopefully it's fixable. You know, once you know that something's wrong, it's a lot, and what is wrong, it's a lot better to fix it. Since I left the hospital, I have had a few like stomach issues, but it does not compare. My stomach just does not look like that all day, every day. Like after a meal, like it's not like that anymore. Some days it is, because but I know that it's gonna happen, basically. Like I know myself well enough now to know that, you know, tomorrow is gonna be a bad day, or today is gonna be a bad day. You know, like when you feel this good, it's a lot better to keep yourself optimistic. I know that I would have not been able to feel this good if I would have not gone to the doctor and gotten all those tests done. They know best, right? Sometimes you think you might know best, but you don't. I hoped it was somewhat informative, but not informative. Hope you enjoyed the story time. It's not really much up in there, except there's no more poop, baby. I will make a video later about what I'm doing to help with my digestion, like the new foods they've given me, the new foods they've taken out, the medicines and all that stuff. I just thought I'd inform people a little bit more what stuff helps you for your stomach and what doesn't. There are a lot of myths out there. A lot of people tell you to drink certain things or eat certain things that are actually really not good for you if you have like a really sensitive stomach. I got a lot of comments like that telling me like eat this, eat that, and if I would have been like, and I would have not gone to the doctors, I would have probably eaten and done those things, because that's what I was doing. Based on all the other videos I was watching and all of the other stories I had heard about, were just making me worse. Things that you think are good for you aren't actually not good for you. If you'd like to take my advice, go ahead. I'm not a medical profession. I only work with medical professions. Thank you so much to all of the people that messaged me and commented and ended up adding me on Instagram and have messaged me as well. So thank you so much for all of your kind and sweet messages. If you want to add me on Instagram, please go ahead and add me. I will leave my Instagram name somewhere at the bottom. It's not a private account, so if you know, you want to go all up in there and look at me and want to pass what I'm at now, it's cool. If you don't want to add me, it's fine. If you just kind of want to get a better sense of who I am, who I was, who I'm not, there you go, to snoop around in there if you'd like. And to all of the subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. Guess that's the point of it. Wow, I see a one and. Thanks for tuning in and hearing my woes and me whine about my constipation. Hopefully it gets better over time. Thank you.